All right, guys, we're live. Liverpool versus everybody. I am here with my man James. Good to have you back. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, feeling excited, man. I'm happy.
Let's get into that West Ham game because we haven't been able to speak really
Yep.
since that. And just to recap, going into the game, was it a game that you felt like somewhat nervous about because West Ham had all these new players and it's a new team with the manager. We know he's done well in the Premier League and in La Liga. Did you think or were you convinced by what you saw in preseason? Tell me about your thoughts going into the game, how you felt.
I was a little bit nervous because I did like they've got lots of new players. I did think if we were going to field, which we didn't, but if we were to field Fabinho, Shaqiri, Keita, Allison, a whole new team, kind of, language barriers. I thought, okay, that might work against us. But I weren't worried. I'd just say, they've got a few new players. We've got a few new players. It's West Ham. It could be a lot more difficult. Look at Arsenal. So, yeah, I wouldn't say I was nervous. When I did get nervous is when Tottenham got the job done, Man United got the job done, and Chelsea got the job done. Sunday morning, I kind of thought, there's a lot of pressure on us. You hear the pundits, you hear the media, everyone saying Liverpool are closest to Man City. Liverpool might even beat City to it. And I don't like to hear that. I don't want that pressure. Even as a fan, we feel that pressure. Like you can't go and get Allison. Imagine Allison made two mistakes directly to goal. You won't hit the end of it. And so that was kind of like, I just wanted a nice win. And then yeah, but towards the end, I started to think, you know what, we should get them 4-5-1 or whatever, and which we did. So yeah.
Yeah, that's my kind of my feelings as well. I think with any team who's bringing in a lot of players like West Ham,
Mm,
these teams like Everton, a lot of teams have brought in lots of players, and I think it's always going to be tough to bed them in. It's going to take some time, and you can't really expect so much. Whereas with us, the only real new player to my recollection was Naby, right?
mhm.
Oh, and the goalkeeper. So that's probably a bit easier to get squared away, get familiar. Kate has been with the team all preseason. We just got Allison recently, but he is a goalkeeper and he has his own issues. But it was easier to get Naby kind of up and running. And speaking of Naby, um, I mean, if that's a sign of things to come, this is going to be an exciting season watching Naby Keita, man.
Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. I hadn't watched loads of Naby. I caught lots of highlights and the odd Europa League game I'd tune into. But yeah, it was like everything I'd heard of him. I've got some friends or Twitter mates that are really into that. They kind of watch all types of football, and they were saying, he's a superstar in the making. And I watched him in preseason, and he just glided past players. He had vision, he had strength, he had change of pace, dropped the shoulder. I was really impressed. And like you said, that's his first game. Like, I don't know what he is. He's not a Kante, and he's not a Pogba. He's his own individual. He's got bits of both in some ways, but he's his own individual. I'm so pleased he's ours. And he's so young, bro. It's scary. It's scary that it's his debut. I can't wait to see him run past the Man United and, the Man City midfield. I cannot wait.
Oh man, and it's with so much ease the way he carries the ball. It's just it's a lovely thing to see, and I think we kind of have an answer. I believe we got to still have the season go on. West Ham, to be fair, we're pretty awful. I think a lot of that has to do with just how good we were. But we'll
Mhm.
play better teams. Crystal Palace can be that bogey team for us. They've done it before. We all know. I don't have to bring up the games that they've broken our heart, but as
Mhm.
tough as they are there, we should be beating this team. And I think this season is a season where I want to see us really, really dominate the teams on these levels. And again, no disrespect to West Ham or Crystal Palace, but to win a title, we have to be beating these teams and beating them convincingly.
Yeah.
Having Allison in the net, to me, man, I'm going in confident every game. Now I know he's human; he'll have mistakes, but
Mhm.
personally, I just feel like a lot of these games we can get clean sheets. I really do. I think Palace will try to do something similar to what West Ham do. Long ball, knock it down off Benteke to Zaha or Schlupp,
Mhm.
try to get a goal that way, set pieces. But all in all, we should be able to go down to Croydon, man, and really make some noise. I was just happy to see Genie. He's really proven to Now, this is a guy who's been playing an attacking football kind of style his whole life. You know what I mean? And he's coming to Liverpool and he still can do that, but he's being asked to play different roles. And for some reason, somehow Klopp gets these guys to do things like that. You know, Milner's playing out of position before at fullback. You know, he's got Trent playing at right back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Gomez. So I just think it's lovely that these guys have come in and bought into the game. And I want to speak on Trent really quick because I think it's easy for people to say, well, his crossing wasn't that great and he had an off game and things of that nature. What I saw was that, but I also saw his maturity to not get sent off. He had that yellow card, which I think was kind of a petty call. I don't think that was really the best call. I don't think Trent would do that purposely. But to have the confidence in himself to keep putting in crosses, because some young kids would be like, you know what, it's not working for me today. Let me just stop. But you saw Milner, in his ear. You saw his confidence building, and the audacity to continue to do it, and then almost make the set piece. And I thought he was much improved defensively. So it's just good to see. You know, at one point we had guys like Woodburn. No offense to him. You know, but these guys just weren't really pressing themselves to the first team. They weren't, not consistently. And now we see in Trent, we're seeing probably Curtis Jones will get some game time at some point, Rafa Camacho. So that's really I think encouraging to see the young guys really, really stepping up. Yeah, talk to me about you know, Milner. This guy is just like forever young. I don't know how he continues to do it. I mean, if you saw some of the clips early on in preseason training, he just outlasted everybody. And some of these guys are 10 years younger than him. You know what I mean? It's amazing. Just talk to me about Milner and just this revelation of just how he's just been such an integral part to our team. When you think about, you know, these figures in our locker room and our team that are like captain, like you think about maybe Virgil van Dijk, obviously Henderson, and then Milner. But just talk to me about Milner, how important he is in this team this season.
Yeah, with Milner, you know, it's crazy. Like, I'll be honest, when we first bought Milner, I weren't happy. It wasn't the type of signing that I wanted. A Man City type of reject. He weren't the fancy name. I weren't going to run and get him on my shirt or get him on FIFA. He was old. I'd seen him my whole life, and he'd always been good, never amazing. He'd always been an average English midfielder. He'd never been a Gerrard, Lampard, or Scholesy. You know, more like a Gareth Barry. So I weren't over the move, I'll be very honest. And he's just blown me away. His professionalism when he first came and the performances he put in, I was like, okay, cool, great. And then he played left back for the whole season, and I was like, wow, you know, good for you. And then last season, it's the best football I've ever seen off James Milner. You know, and like you said, the energy that even using his weaker foot, his assists in the Champions League, but just his play, his fitness, his diehard attitude. And I love how he's just he's such a team player. He doesn't care about fanciness. He doesn't care about social media. He just loves the football, and he's happy to allow the other players to get the headlines, to allow them to do the interviews, to allow them to do the sponsorships. And he's just great. And I think, you know, it's like the end of last year, I'll be honest, I kind of thought, okay, Fabinho's come in, Keita's come in. This was probably before Ox's injury. I thought we was going to get Fekir. I was kind of thinking, you know, sadly, Milner, he's going to be 30, is he 30, 31? You know, he's going to, Lallana, you know, and all Milner's done is let his football do the talking. And I sit here now thinking the strongest midfield we play has to include Milner, regardless. Over our captain Hendo, over our 45 million CDM and Fabinho, you know, Milner looks like he has to be a part of that midfield. And he was so good on Sunday. He was phenomenal. Like, you know, his crosses and I'm just like, what do I do? At the moment, I wouldn't change. I'd have him, Widgie, and Keita in. And that says something about James Milner, someone that's, I don't know, 31, 32. And prior to the last two, you know, when we got him for free, if you'd offered him to Man United, if you'd offered him to Chelsea, I don't think they would have took him. And now he's definitely walking into their midfields if he's walking into ours. Crazy.
It is crazy, and that's you kind of went to a level that I wanted to speak about, because I can't lie, Milner's not a guy that when we got him, I wasn't, you know, celebrating. I didn't run around excited like I may have done with Naby Keita or some other signings. But he's proven to be, like you said, that this amazing professional, and this dude just works his behind off. I don't get it, man. something must be in that Rabina he's drinking, because I don't understand how he keeps this energy for this long in his career. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. So we got a great leader there. We got a great player in general, and a guy that's going to live and die for the team. Whatever the manager wants him to do for these players, he loves playing with them. And I think a lot of the young guys look up to him. So it's just a great situation. Speaking of the midfield, it's really harsh to think about any of those guys not playing. I think Cabby's a shoe. I think Naby's a shoe-in, so you got to put him in. But as far as the other guys, it's really harsh to say either way, because Milner doesn't deserve to be sat. Neither does Genie. So it's hard for me to really say. I think there's a comment in here about Fab, maybe not rushing him into a starting role away from home. Maybe that's not the best thing. Maybe at home is where you introduce him. Maybe the Brighton game. He is fit. Matip is also fit, I read. Henderson should be good. So that's a tough one for me. If I had to,
Matip's fit.
Yeah, I just read about it online. Matip apparently is fit. They did a behind-the-scenes 60-minute game against the academy players. It was the players who didn't play versus West Ham playing against the academy players. So he's looking decent. Matip looks okay. It's really hard for me, James. The midfield, again, I don't know if I can sit Genie. I don't know if I can sit Milner. I mean, together they played so well with Naby. Like, they've been playing together for, Genie and Milner have played for a while now, but Naby just came in and slotted in, and it's just amazing. That left-hand side with him, Robbo, and Mane, wow, really special, delicious, man. That the pace, the power, togetherness on that left side is really nice. For the Palace game, I think the height could be good for us, which is why I was thinking that Fabinho. I think Benteke is going to be obviously kind of the spearhead for them. Like I said, getting knockdowns, being physical in the box. But if Palace is smart, they'll sit back, playing the counter. I think West Ham really made a big mistake by trying to play that high line. I don't know what he was doing. He's an experienced manager. I don't get what he was doing with that. That's the wrong thing to do. Palace have quietly gotten a decent little window towards the end of the window. They got Jordan Ayew, Max Meyer. They got the midfielder from West Ham, Kyoto. And so they got some decent players. Obviously, I think one almost like a big signing for them is like keeping Zaha. So that's a big thing for them. So it'll be tough. They got some pace. They got some power. PNP, as they say. And they could cause us a little bit of trouble. But again, like the West Ham game, I think Liverpool should go in there and marching away with a win. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, just adding to what you said. So with the midfield, I think me personally, we played so well. It doesn't make sense changing it. I get why. I like two things you said. I like what you said about Fabinho and height. I think that does make sense. But you also said away from home, Selhurst Park, it's not an easy place to go to with the noise. It'll be a nighttime kickoff. They'll be up for it. Maybe not throw him in, because if he has a bad performance, that could really have an impact on him. If he has a really bad performance, we take him off. He might be a confidence player. I don't know. So maybe stick to what we have. Hendo will be dying to get on. Obviously, he will be dying to get on. But I think I've been very impressed with Jaldum. He's linked up well with Naby, and he's, there's something about him. Like he used, twice in Holland, he got 20 plus or 20 goals a season in all competitions. He was once number 10. I remember at Newcastle, he got 4 goals in one game. So, we're not getting Fekir and not replacing Coutinho. There are options in Widgie and whatnot. So I think I'd stick to the team that we have. I think Hendo, Fabinho won't get into the team at the moment. Because if it's not broken, why fix it? It was too good. Like you said, they linked up with Robertson and Trent as well. And, Mane has a really good relationship. So, yeah, I'd stick with that. As for Crystal Palace, I am worried. I'm worried because Zaha really had Trent on his ass for the first 40, 50 minutes, if I remember rightly. And if Benteke was more up for it, they would have scored 1 or 2, kind of like what Rashford did to us. And I know Trent, don't get twisted, I think Trent can go on to be one of the best right-backs in the world. And I'm a massive
me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with kind of allowing someone like Zaha. He's at the top of his game. He's very quick. He's very skillful. He'll drop his shoulder. It's okay sometimes to rotate and maybe go with Klein. I don't know if that's the right option. I'm not Klopp, but I am worried that what he did last time. If they were more prolific, it could have got they could have got better results. But that's my only. That'd be my only. I wouldn't even say change. Actually, I wouldn't say change. It's out there for the viewers on your opinion. if I saw Zaha dominating Trent again for the first 45, 55 minutes, I'd kind of maybe think, you know what, with Klein, he doesn't offer half the amount of passing that Trent, half the amount of attacking that Trent does, but Klein is never getting kind of mugged off by someone that's quick. Klein is Klein, been there, done that, worn the t-shirt, stronger than him, and, you know, a bit more aware of his surroundings, more experienced. That'd be the only thing I'd consider. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, somebody just said we got to take a long, hard look at ourselves if we lose to a side managed by Roy Hodgson. No, I mean, I think Klein would be a safe choice defensively. As I said, I think whatever Trent was lacking in the West Ham game going forward, I think he definitely improved defensively.
Yeah.
Last I checked, what's the guy? What's the winger they had on their team? West Ham. The Brazilian. Anyway, right. Yeah, he didn't really impress me much, and so you know that's good to see that Trent was able to hold his own. I wouldn't mind Klein. I think the beautiful thing is that, you know, before this game or before this season, I think we spoke a little bit, and I was kind of worried about the depth. If we can stay somewhat healthy, I mean, we're gonna have injuries here and there. Then I don't feel that bothered by the depth. Obviously, we're hoping, you know, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything that Sturridge can stay healthy at least to January. I mean, that would be a big improvement if he can do that.
Yeah.
And seeing him score that goal, which just really, really felt good to see, man, for him, for the team, and knowing that that's the kind of thing that he can offer. Right place, right time, you know, get the goal. So, you know, having Shaqiri, that big smile on his face coming off to play as a bench player. I mean, who's that happy to come off the bench? I've never seen a guy smile that much coming off the bench. I mean, that's just unbelievable. So, again, another guy who could have had his pick of teams, but he picked Liverpool. Yeah, somebody said Felipe Anderson, right? So that was good to see. And as soon as he come on, you see his pace. We just got a lot of speed in the team. We got a lot of speed in the team. And if we can just stay, you know, somewhat healthy until January, I mean, especially that period where we have, like, you know, 3 games a week or whatever nonsense it is. If we can try to stay healthy through that and rotate, then cool. And so that's what we got the squad for. So Klein, I don't mind him playing. I don't want to switch up too much, though. I don't want to kill, like you said, a good thing. So maybe 1 or 2 at the most changes for me, but not too many changes. And I think if there's going to be a change, yeah, you probably say maybe right back, just because of Zaha, and maybe somewhere in the midfield. I don't know who comes out. Again, because I think everybody played really well, so that one's really hard to see. Got some questions and concerns in here about just when the front 3 are down and they're not having a good day, which I think that's going to be rare that all of them aren't doing well. But when it does, what's your opinion on the best thing to solve that, and who you think can help us with that? Do you think we're going to need that much more goals from production from the midfield, or you think Shaqiri's there for that and Sturridge is there for that? What's your opinion on that?
I think when I say I worry about the front 3 slowing down, for me, bold statement, but Mane is our most talented player. I honestly think that Salah's the better finisher, well proven. Fabinho's the most important player, but I look at Mane and I see he does things that blow me away. You know, beats players, 3 players, or, you know, I think he's a phenomenal player. My issue with Mane is he gets dry patches. We saw it after his straight red card against Edison last year. He didn't recover for a while, and he started to pick up. And that could be a few things. That could be being swapped position, or having to understand that Salah kind of took his shine. Maybe, I don't know, but he slowed down. And if you look at his end to the season, was phenomenal. Hat-trick in Europe. So Mane could dry up. I hope he doesn't, but that could be Mane's thing. 20 goals is still phenomenal in all competitions. But, you know, so if he did, I think Shaqiri has to be looking at, you know, I look at Shaqiri and I think there's no reason why he can't get double figures, 10, 12, 14 in all competitions. But Daniel Sturridge is, again, it's hard to say he's a better finisher than Salah, because, you know, we haven't ever seen someone get 32 goals in the Premier League since it changed to 38 games. And we're talking Drogba's, Henry's, you know, Van Nistelrooy's. We've never seen someone do that. So, but Sturridge is a great finisher. Now, if you look at some of the most successful Premier League sides, I think of 1999, Man United, who won everything. They had a lot of Solskjaer, you know, Solskjaer was there. I look at someone more modern like Hernandez. Again, hate to say the Man United, when they dominated football from 06 to 09, and they had Hernandez who'd come on happily and get them 10, 12 goals. You know, when Rooney, when Tevez, when Ronaldo wasn't working, boom, Hernandez would come on. So I'd like Sturridge to play that role and chip in with 10 to 12 goals, possibly. And I think he's happy to do that because I look at Sturridge's career and I think, you know, when he was 25, 26, he was the highest prospect when Rooney was coming to an end. And, you know, Suarez left that season and he got injury prone and And I think going to West Brom was a real reality. You know, he was been involved in a battle where he lost it, and he sat at home watching his nation go to the semi-finals, knowing for fact there's a lot of players that shouldn't have made it, and he wasn't even close to getting on the plane. So I think he's had 2 reality checks, and he had that comment about Liverpool being like an ex-girlfriend. And I get what it means in a way. So I think Sturridge, you know, he could be very important to us. He's got to stay fit. As for the question about more goals, I think Sturridge and Shaqiri should be looking on double figures, and then I'd love maybe Naby Keita to pop in with you know, a good few goals as well. The football that Liverpool play is going to be different to what he's used to. He's gonna have a lot more chances, and he's gonna have arguably the best centre back in the Premier League behind him, and one of the best keepers in the world behind him. So I'd like Naby Keita to also add to goals. Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's coming together. And again, I don't want to be too much of a prisoner of that moment against West Ham. I know it's one game, but we got to treat each game, you know, with respect but realize, you know, beating a team in the Premier League is good. So it's okay to celebrate. It's okay to talk about it, no matter what level they were on. You got to beat who's in front of you. So, you know, as the Palace game is a separate game, and we got to treat it like that. So I mean, yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good, and you know, I think maybe this time in between. Taking so long to Monday is good for some of the guys to kind of rest up, you know, get some more training under their legs, especially the guys that just came back from the World Cup. Hendo, I don't know how long Larvin's going to be out. But again, it is nice to see that Matip is at least healthy, because right now we're talking about giving away Klavan and we're losing bodies at center back. So, yeah. I mean, it's good to see. Say again? I mean, not Lovren, Gomez or Matip?
What about him?
Who do you prefer starting
to? You know, it's crazy because I feel like, man, when Matip first came in, I mean, he was that guy, and I would have loved to see him continue kind of in that way where he started. I don't know what happened to Matip, I really don't. But I have to say, you know what? I'm really ready to see Gomez call that his own. I am, man. And I think even in the game versus West Ham, he had a moment or two, maybe just one, where he kind of switches off. But he did that a lot at fullback last season. Again, he's still young. He's still, but I mean, anybody next to Virgil van Dijk has got to feel that much more confident.
Yeah.
Having that leader next to you, kind of guiding you. But at the same time, I think Virgil van Dijk wants him to kind of have his own freedom and you know, learn the role as he goes. And again, it's a good thing to have Alisson behind us. Alisson behind us, Virgil van Dijk next to whoever plays next to him. And seemingly now you can say 3 number 6s. I mean, Genie's playing that without any problem. Hendo can do it. We got Fab. So as long as those guys kind of protect him, and I think Dominic left a good comment in there saying that, you know, if Trent's playing, then we need to have Milner kind of covering that, helping him out as well on that side. As opposed to if Klein's in there, then, you know, we can have Milner kind of just focus on going forward, recycling play or whatever. So look, man, it's just nice to know that we have so many different reinforcements. I mean, we had guys that were set on bench players, a part of the 18-man squad every game last season. They didn't even make it to the bench last game. You know, so that's saying a lot. We got some guys that we can go to if we need them. And like I said, we got a lot of competitions going on, so we'll see some of the young guys, Curtis Jones, stuff like that. So I'm excited, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, we got lots of depth. Like Solanke, Origi. What do you think is going on? Like, I'm not really hearing anything on this end. I know Ings is now done, obviously, Southampton. Origi's, I'm not saying he's good enough for us, but he's too good to be running in a reserve at 24, 23. Surely, what's going on? Do you think we're going to give him a chance in cups, or what do you think?
Yes, Solanke, that's an odd one. I mean, even Origi, I don't know why he's even still in the books, to be honest.
Yeah, sorry, Solanke, I get it, he's young, but Origi, he needs to be playing football now.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. And I think the European transfer window is still open. So I guess some guys can still. Apparently, Mignolet is getting a lot of people from Italy interested in him. So I don't know. I mean, listen, if Sturridge, knock on wood, man, but if Sturridge gets an issue again, we're gonna need someone else. We're gonna need someone else, especially if Firmino goes down. I really, really pray that doesn't happen. But if it does, then we'll need Solanke and Origi. Even if we don't really look at them as guys that we can see as giving us any real confidence off the bench, we need a body there if we have something happen to the front three, preferably Firmino. So I think him bringing Firmino off early in the game in West Ham was really smart. He is just back recently, so you don't want to overdo him so early in the season. And I'm hoping we can do that more often, honestly, until he feels like, because Firmino will tell him, I can play all day, coach. He'll never want to come off. But I think Klopp has to really, really manage some of these guys this season, which he did last season with a lot of the rotation. I think he'll do that, but I want to make sure we don't have any injuries. That's what really bothers us at the end of seasons. It kind of tails off a bit because of injuries or fatigue or whatever. So as long as we can kind of take care of that, I think we'll be fine. Let's see what some of the people in the comment section are saying. Talking about KDB, you know, he got an injury. He'll be out for a significant time. For City, KDB, Kevin De Bruyne.
That's great. Yeah. Sorry, that's great news for
yeah, that's what I hate to say it like that, but that is pretty good. Although again, they got such a big squad. It's like, does it really matter? I mean, I'm sure Silva will be able to come out. And again, I gotta say, Bernardo Silva, he didn't play that much for them last season. He played in different spells, but he's proven that somebody has to come in and take his spot. He's that good. Bernardo Silva is doing really good for them.
You're right. You're right. I know you go back to the questions. Just quickly on De Bruyne, and I think they're lucky because they've got so many. They've got a very good easy running. Their next 6 games are very easy games till they've got us, or 5 or 6 games. But you know, losing De Bruyne is definitely a plus. Selfishly, horribly for Liverpool fans, he's the main man, and they can replace him, but they've got no one in. I don't think no one in midfield in the can't say is on the level of De Bruyne. So that could work for us. It happened 2 years ago, and they dropped a few points when that happened. So hopefully they drop a few points, because that's what we need, man. As good as we can be, we need them to drop points.
Oh, no question. I mean, while we're rolling on and getting points and hopefully smashing teams, which is why I like our first 3 games, because I honestly, not to boast too much, but I really think these first 3 to 4 games, we can get a lot of goals. I mean, I'm talking about 3-0s, 4-0s. I really feel that. So it was a tough league. We know that there's no games that are given to you, but I really think these first 3 games at least is what we can get, and just keep that kind of that goal advantage or whatever. Dominic says Bernardo Silva is good replacement, but doesn't add what KDB does. Yeah, it's basically what
no, it's not. We're not comparing him to Keita.
Let's see. So City is the only team that wasn't struck by key players. Long injuries might be different this time. Yeah, they could drop points. Yeah, that's what James was saying. It's like it's really nice to know that while we're winning these games, City could slip up. Because to me, they've won their games, and they've, that's what they're supposed to do. But they haven't really been that impressive to me. I spoke about this in the last video. So it doesn't mean much. They're winning their games, and so that's really all it comes down to. But I'm just saying, when they come against some of these tougher teams, teams like Wolves, man, they are really, really hungry. That team is really good, and they got to play them, I think, in a couple of weeks. So as much as I'm excited about watching the game Monday, we play Palace, I'm really looking to see the other games as well. Some of these really good matchups. I think Wolves play Leicester this week, if I'm not mistaken. That could be a good game. So it should be exciting. And then you got Chelsea, Arsenal. So let's watch the other teams beat each other up while we get points against these other sides is my thing.
That's it. I 100% agree.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Even if we draw 1 game out of these next 6 because of KDB, it's a big boost. Yeah, I know last season we got in the habit of maybe too many draws. We kind of turned into United of the year before, where they just had, I think, 16, 17 games. And they just got 1 point from. So, listen, you never want to lose games. And if you're in a game where you're down and you come back and draw it, it's cool. What I don't like is if we're up 3-1, 3-2 even, and we throw the game away and we let them get a point. That's what I don't like seeing. So I'm thinking with this team this year, we're going to see some different ways that Klopp wants to, handle games. And if we're up by a significant amount of points, you may see defensive subs come in. This is 3rd season in there. He knows the Premier League now, in and out. Yeah. You gotta imagine he'll make some changes.
Yeah. He's got to. I think I'm a massive fan of Klopp. I wouldn't stop him for the world, and I hate Mourinho. But one thing he needs to learn, I think, Klopp, and I think he's learning, is sometimes shut up shop, sometimes park the bus. You know, if you're winning 2-0, you know, you have to win the game. And I think you're looking back at some of the games of Liverpool, we've dropped points, is where we're 2-0 up and we've gone for 3-4 rather than win 2-0. And, you know, that's how you win wars, but not battles. And I think that's something that he's obviously seen himself. You don't spend 75 million on a defender. You don't spend 66 million or whatever it is on Alisson if you don't notice that. And that's the same with Brendan Rodgers was the exact same. You know, we don't play ball in football, and that's wonderful. It's great. But I think this year we need to, some games stick to my head where we weren't good enough defensively. You know, Watford away, Arsenal, I think it was away or home, 3-3. Mingale, I think, had a stinker. There's a lot of draws that should have and could have been wins. And I think this year, that's what we need to do. We need to put games to bed. You know, get some dirty 1-0 wins, if that, you know, whatever.
Oh, yeah. I take that.
Because we had a lot of 3-3s and a lot of 4-3s and 2-2s, and, you know, win 1-0, 3 points, and, you know, park a bus. I hate to say it. Sometimes 80th minute, throw on another centre back and just defend, play 5 at the back. You know, because I hate Mourinho's philosophy, but his trophy cabinet will tell you it can win you stuff.
Yeah. Let me just respond to this real quick. You know, I would love a 1-0 win. It's about getting the points. And think about City. A lot of the games that they won last season, 90th minutes, you know, Sterling, you know, 98th minute, you know, the Fergie time style. You know, it's like, so. And let me say something about the offsides goal that Mane scored, because a lot of people will be talking about that, mainly rival fans. Listen, there was a stat they put out last season about we were the unluckiest team.
Yeah.
So I could care less. We had so many things go against us. We had some calls that go for us too, but so many things go against us that, hey, look, if the ref doesn't call it, I don't mind it. You know what I mean? Like, he's in the right place at the right time. He put the ball in the net. The ref needs to call that, but he didn't. So I don't really mind it, because we had so many things like that go against us. So could care less. Could care less, man.
Totally. I feel like with the offsides and the penalties, and one, like you said, I saw that stat, we were the most unlucky. But I also think when you look at the end of the season, it works out about fair. Get some, you don't get some. By the end of the year, you know, 9 months of football, you're going to get 5 that you shouldn't have gotten, 5 that you did get. And, you know, at the end of the day, all right, fuck it, we didn't get it. We would have won 3-0. You know, we were all over them. Salah missed that chance he should have put away, and Arne. And so I think rival fans, they were just trying to take something away from us, because we were the most convincing team on the first weekend. And I think this is a really...
By far.
Yeah,
by far. If you think about all the 6, if you think about I'm going to cut you off. Sorry, man.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. I've noticed it with Man United fans especially, but this is a really awkward, horrible time for a lot of the Man United lads, because they've never been the team. They've never seen Liverpool play better than them. They've never seen Liverpool buy bigger plays than them. They've never seen pundits talk higher of Liverpool than Man United. So a lot of my friends are struggling to get the terms of this new Liverpool. You know, they don't like it. They don't like how we're getting Fabinho when they wanted him, and we're the ones that are getting all these new. It's hard for them to take. I get it. I get why. That we've always been the noisy brothers that have never, you know, in our generation since the 90s. So it's natural. They're trying to hang on to anything. You know, I was speaking to guys. I see Naby Keita. Oh, yeah, he's okay. You know, I'm like, oh, you know, because for years we watched them get the best players. You know, I remember when they got Tevez, and I was like, oh, I'd have Tevez, or I would have had Vidic, or, you know, we were often left with the scraps, or the players that weren't good enough for the top 2 Chelsea's and Man United's, and we often got them. And for the first time now, players are saying, well, actually, I want to play for Liverpool, not United, or, you know, Liverpool, not Chelsea. And I think rivals are struggling to get their head around it. You know, even like making the Champions League final, they didn't want to know, they didn't want to watch it. It's hard for them to take, and it's a good thing for us.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time we've heard of a player being linked with us and then they said they didn't want to come? I don't know of one. I mean, Lucas Digne, he ran his mouth. The guy that went to Everton and said that he the guy that has a tattoo of "Never Walk Alone" or whatever it's called on his chest. He tried to make it seem like we really wanted him, and then he turned us down. But other than that, nobody's really, you know, said they didn't want to come here. You know what I mean? So that's that you got to say, and that's all because of Klopp, man. That is all because of Klopp. And I sit back and watch this team on West Ham, because I keep watching this West Ham game back and forth. I keep watching it over and over and over, and I just sit and think, how do we get this fortunate? I mean, this team is just so good, man. It's so good. And I think even as a neutral, you got to be looking at Liverpool saying, wow, they look good. But looking good is fine. But this season, I think Milne even spoke about it. You know, we got it. It's time for us to get over that line. It's time for us to get over the line and get that trophy, whatever trophy it is. Also keep, you know, doing well and in the league. And see if this not be a season that we can just get past City, man. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I mean, we got all the talent to do it. We got a great manager, great fan base, and why not just make this the season that we do it? 2018-19. Let's go for it all.
Definitely.
So let's end it with give me your starting 11 who you would like to see on Monday against Palace.
Okay, so Alisson, obviously, Robertson, Gomez over Matip. I want to see I like Gomez. He's young and he's been fit. Why not? And Van Dijk, obviously. Trent or Klein. I'm all about Trent. Don't get it twisted. 100% all about Trent. I'm just worried about what Zaha did. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go for Trent because prove me wrong. I want him to prove me wrong. And you know.
I like that. I'm
going to go for the same back four. Midfield, you made me think when you said about the heights. I'm going to go, can't take Milner out. Can't take Naby out. They go without saying. Wijnaldum shocking away form. Do I drop him?
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Yeah. Do I drop him and go for Mr. Reliable Henderson? I don't know. Do I? Go on then. I drop Wiji and I play Hendo in the 6th role, which maybe allows Keita to. I'll play Hendo. Captain, no messing around. He'll give his order. He knows his place is up for grabs, so he will give his order as he always does. And then front three, Salah Mane, Firmino. Sturridge and Shaqiri on the bench.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I think the goalkeeper is definitely circled in, penciled in. And then I'm gonna go same back four. You know what? I'm gonna go Klein. I'm gonna go Klein. I love what you said about Trent. I'm wondering if just an away game, the first away game, because Klein has been there most of the preseason. Klopp has to see that he's in the plans at some point. So I'm thinking you put Klein in. He's got some extra training under his belt. So let's just see what Klein has in a game that means something. So I think Klein. I'll go with Klein. Midfield again. It's harsh because all those guys did well. Naby, like you said, is definitely a shoe-in. I got to see Naby. And I'm going Fab. I really want to see what he's got. I think Hendo could use a bit more time on the bench, just coming back from the World Cup duties. But I am eager to see Hendo be a really important part in this team, if for nothing else, his leadership. So I got Naby, I got Fab, and I got Milner.
Okay. Cool.
I got to keep Milner in there, man, because this guy is just, I got to keep him in there. And then the front three, they picked themselves as well. Like you said, Shaqiri still's on the bench for me. So I got 2 changes, Fab and Klein, and I think that's cool. I don't think that's going to mess up too many things. But again, I mean, your lineup is good. If it was the same lineup that went against West Ham, I wouldn't be upset. So I do see maybe Firmino coming off again around that time. Klopp knows him really good, so he'll be able to kind of gauge and see if he needs a rest or not. But I love the idea that we can look at the bench and see Sturridge, Shaqiri, even Lallana really.
Yeah.
At this point in the season, having Lallana as a bench guy, or if Genie's on it, but whoever. I mean, I'm telling you, man, we got a good little kind of squad right now situation as far as depth. So either way,
100%, bro. I feel just quickly. I feel like this is the strongest bench. I was saying before to my 2 little friends in the pub the other day, I was saying, this is one of the strongest benches we've had since Rafa. And they were saying, well, it's probably stronger than any bench we had with Rafa. If you look at it, when we had Torres, we had Crouch. Sturridge is better than Crouch. When we had now we had Ben Ayim, we've got Shaqiri, probably better than Ben Ayim. We instead of Fabinho the other day, we had Lucas. Fabinho is probably better than Lucas. I could go on and on. We had, defenders. We didn't have someone like Matip, you know what I mean? And Lovren, that regardless, he's played in the World Cup final and the Champions League final in 6 months, and he's not. So we've got a very strong bench. It's exciting. It's exciting. Like, you're looking at your bench for the first time, you're thinking, whoa. We've even got players in reserves, like Origi, who would have got into some of it. You look at the Champions League final, You know, Salah got injured, and we had to turn to Lallana. Salah gets injured now. Pick.
Oh man.
Do you want Shaqiri coming on? Do you want Daniel Sturridge coming on? Or if you've played him, Origi's probably a better option. You know, even though he didn't have a good preseason, say what you want, but there was once upon a time he's playing 45 games just scoring against Dortmund and, you know, Man United League. So it's good, man. We're strong. We've got an England international Klein, and then we've got another England international keeping him out in Trent. Crazy. Moreno, he's not the awful. Moreno's a good man. You know what I mean? You got 10 minutes to go. You throw Moreno on, he's going to stretch anyone in the world. So strong, man.
And I think maybe we can even, I mean, especially in a game where we need some more attacking flair, you know, you can put, we all say it, you know, Alberto Moreno is definitely better at going for attack and using this pace than he is defending. So, you know, it's just good that almost every position we have at least one or two. When it gets to the top, that's a little shaky just because we don't know what's going on with Solanke and Origi. But let's go with a score prediction on your end, man, and give me the goal scorers.
I'm gonna go with. I want to keep clean sheet. I'm gonna go with 3-0. I want to keep the blowing away 3-0, and I'm gonna say Mane, Salah, and you know what, Naby? Naby had a chance the other
day. Yes. Naby. He had a chance, man. He's just so quick with his feet. I mean, that's amazing how he carries the ball. I'm going for another 4-0. Actually, I think we have it in us. I can see maybe them getting something like I said with a knockdown. Somebody loses their man, whatever, or set piece. But I'm going 4-0 again. Again, Alisson's presence for me is just all I need, man. I don't even like going into games. I just feel like we can just get clean sheets. That's just how, especially against these teams. I'm like, you know what? With Alisson in goal, I know he'll make mistakes, but I think with him in there, he's made me that much more comfortable. So I'm gonna go for a second week 4-0. I'm going.
Wow.
I think Mane's gonna be buck wild this year, man. I think he's gonna get a lot of goals. So I'm going Mane again. Salah, you got to put him on for every game. I mean, I think he's 29 and 29 now since the end of the season. I mean, it's ridiculous, something like that in the 20s with scoring goals. So Mane, Salah, they're penciled in. Firmino, and then I'm gonna get Milner for a penalty. I think Sacco is definitely rash for them. Our old Sacco. Yeah. He could definitely be a little bit rash. I think he's gonna try to be kind of he'll play the Lovren role for them this game. Yeah. His head will be really into the game. He wants to get back at his old team. I think he might make a rash challenge when we get a penalty. So yeah, that's how I got it. Mane 2, Mane 1, Salah 1, Firmino, and then Milner. So hopefully, whatever the score is, long as we have more points than them, I'd be happy. But I'm really looking to see Liverpool not have any letdowns. Just continue this momentum. So yeah, man. I appreciate you coming on. Hopefully we can get you back on Monday after the match. Yeah, so you said you're gonna be watching at the crib, or where are you gonna be?
50-50. We'll get
okay.
We'll talk into a DM.
Cool.
I work till 7:30, and I'm working like a psych ward, so I can't even have my phone. But we'll talk around my lunch break, and if I watch it at home, we'll do it straight after. If not, we'll do it the next day or whatever.
All right, beautiful, man. Thanks for coming on as usual, and talk soon.
Great.